Okay, now let's start by modeling some kidneys. A quick revision, you can shift between the object mode and the edit mode here. Of course, I haven't added any object. Here are the toolboxes, and this is the hierarchy where you will see the name of all the objects that we are going to add. And this is the property box where we will modify some of the objects like their color, for example. Okay, so for kidney, we go to add a mesh and we look for an object which looks similar to a kidney, which is a sphere, for example. Okay, so that is the closest I could find. And now you can see the object and edit mode has appeared. In the object mode, if you want to make this ball into a kidney, think that you are having a small play-doh or a ball of clay in hand, and how we are going to make that into a kidney. We will roll it, we will make it slightly longer, and then pat on one side to make it flatter, and maybe add a hilum, right? We are going to do the same here. Let's use this orientation bar for the X, Y, and Z axis. That will be helpful. Let us increase the scale by clicking S, increase the size of the object like this. Okay, don't want it, undo, but we click S and Z so that you increase the height only, okay, increasing the scale in only one axis. Now it is becoming like a kidney. You can go to the side like this by pulling the screen, or you can click on this button which is seen on the top left of your keyboard. Okay, so if you click on that and then go to left or right, then you see the side view. Maybe I can give S and Y so that I can reduce the thickness of the kidney a little bit, like this. Okay, again the same top left button, go to the front view. This looks like a kidney. Okay, that's fine for now. If I want to add some more changes, what I can do is I go to the edit mode, and then you can see that the object has modified into smaller boxes. Okay, so these are the individual faces of the object. Now if I want to make some change, I would better go here and choose the vertex selection, which are the dots rather than the box or the sides. Okay, the vertex ones are easy to use. So I'll show you two things now. One is to make the hilum, for example, I can click this corner, the very first dot, or I can choose a few dots like this. Okay, and then grab, which is G. Then you can pull the kidney inwards, making a hilum. Okay, see, this is not the way the hilum is going to look like, because it looks more sharp. For example, if I pull it out, I can see that it's spiking out. Okay, so that means something is wrong. Let's undo that action. So I said I'll show you two things. That is, you go to the top of the screen, see this small mountain, click on that button. It says proportional editing. Click this. Now go to these vertices again, grab, G for grab. You can rotate the middle mouse, the mouse wheel, to increase or reduce the size of the circle. But with that, if you move, see, the entire kidney is moving in and out. This is what we want. Okay, now this looks like a hilum. Yeah, so we can stick to that. We'll switch it off. I'll show that again. Select some vertices, grab, and then go inside to make the hilum. Now, while doing that, make sure you turn the X-ray mode on. See, this is the X-ray mode. If you turn this on, then when you are selecting some vertices, you can also select the same vertices on the opposite side. Okay, which we did not do in the beginning. See here, only the front is chosen, not the back. So come to the front view, X-ray is turned on. Now if you select, anything at the back is also selected. Okay, so that is very important to observe what we are selecting. And now we click grab, and then you can make a hilum. If you want to make a steady line, then maybe you, after grabbing G, you can click either X or Y depending on where you are going to move. So this looks like a hilum. Maybe we can go much more precise, like a smaller circle now. Okay, and maybe a wider selection. It's all about playing around and then finding what we exactly need. Okay, so you don't have to stick to any particular shape or size. Now you can turn off the X-ray, go to object mode, and it looks something like a kidney, at least from the front. Jumping between edit mode and object mode, the shortcut is clicking the tab key. You click on tab, see, edit mode and object mode. So that's one easy way to jump between things. Now edit, I find that this particular point is too spiky. So maybe grab and then bring it inside to reduce the sharpness. Okay, so some fine tuning you can do by yourself. Something like this. Okay. Yeah. Now again, if you want to make a proper hilum, we need to go to the side, click on the central boxes, maybe one or a few dots, and then do the same again, grab and pull them along the x-axis so that you actually get a depression in the hilum rather than a shallow pit. So grab along the x-axis, you can pull it inside. This is where the orientation bar becomes handy, so that even if the organ is rotated in either side, you still know which is X, which is Y, and you can also compare the color code. See here, the red stands for X, green for Y, and the blue, I haven't turned it on, the blue for Z. So tab, yeah. So this is for the hilum. Now if you think that the surface of the kidney is having lots of boxes like tiles, instead we need a smoother surface. Yes, we can do that in one click, but I would better do that at the end because looking at the small boxes will actually help me to orientate myself on what I'm doing. Back to edit mode. As you know, in reality, the kidney doesn't look this smooth. So if you want to change some little bit details, maybe you can choose some of the vertices like this. Yeah, if you want, you can turn on the X-ray, select a few vertices, grab bigger circle by rotating the wheel, and then maybe like this. Okay, so you are making some bumps on the kidney to make it look slightly natural rather than like a rubber ball or something. Tab for object mode, turn off the X-ray. Okay, I think this looks somewhat like a kidney. Okay, fine. Here actually we are learning the steps and the techniques rather than making the beautiful organ, which we will be doing slowly as we get more practice. Okay, so I will leave this as a kidney, and now we need to add an ureter. The ureter, as you know, is a hollow tube. It's not a solid organ like the kidney, so we don't want to add any mesh. If you really want to add a mesh to start with, you can go to add mesh. See, you can use a cylinder, which is like a tube, but the problem is you will not be able to bend the cylinder in different points. So I would not use that. Instead, in add, you don't have to go to mesh, but go to the curve. in the curve, choose a bezier curve. Okay, and that one is here, the yellow line. I'll grab and bring it out so that I can see it completely. Yep. If there is one thing I love in Blender, it's the curves, because I can do anything with the curves by making very smooth margins on the top. If you look at the curve from the top, it is not straight, it's a bit bent. So I usually make it straighter so that I can have a look at what I'm actually doing. Come to the front view, click on the curve, I rotate it in the x-axis 90 degrees. Okay, so what did I do just now? I clicked on an object, so I'll use the kidney, which is easy. R for rotation without moving anything. Now you can choose any axis, for example, Z axis. So R for rotation, Z for the Z axis, and then you rotate. The object will rotate only in that particular axis. Yeah, we know that. Undo. But say if I want to rotate that in the X axis, or maybe Y axis or Y, like this, right? Now I can do R, Y, 90, so that I rotate that only in 90 degrees. Okay, undo that. So again, I demonstrate, I can do R, Y, maybe 45 degrees. Okay, so this will help at some time when we are doing some of the specific actions. Same way here, the curve was flat on the other plane, so I actually did a rotation along the x-axis, the red one, in 90 degrees. Okay, so that's the basic. If I go to edit mode, on the curve we do not see any dots or boxes or faces. Instead you see two dots on the ends. To start with, I'll click this dot, R for rotation, just manually rotate it so that I make the curve flat. That's all. It starts with 2 points, but if I want to add more points, I can do. I will show that in a while. So if this is the ureter, let's hold one end of the ureter, grab G and take it to the hilum. Done. And then grab the next end, take it down to the urinary bladder, so that will be the distal end. Okay, wonderful, that's done. But wait, this is not the direction of the ureter. It should be facing inwards, right? That's what we usually see in the textbooks. So if you want a textbook kind of image, you click on this dot, see this line, it's flat. That's a handle, like a bicycle steering wheel. That's a handle to change the orientation of the curve. Now rotate that. Fine. Now it has come to the shape of the ureter. It doesn't have to be 90 degrees. It can be anything depending on our convenience. Now I grab this and bring it somewhat closer. Okay. Yes, it looks like the ureter. Now, as I said, if I want to add another dot in the middle, that means if I want to increase the curvature here, so you can choose both the dots, or you can even click on this, hold shift and click on this, anything is fine. Go to segments at the top and subdivide. See, it has added another point in the middle. If I want more dots, I don't have to repeat that step, but see this small box at the bottom? This will actually appear for all the actions that we do. It shows number of cuts 1. That's what we just did. You can actually increase the number so that you are increasing the segments in the curve. Okay, but for now I'll just leave it as 1. That means I can hold the middle dot and then I can adjust the curvature, or I can rotate in any plane to change the orientation of the curve. Okay. Ureter should be a tube and not a thread like this. So what I can do is go to object mode, choose the curve that's already chosen. One good thing to observe now is, look at this yellow dot, which is nothing but the origin point or the center of gravity of the curve is somewhere away. That's because originally the curve was like this, and then we moved it and then we brought it down, right? So just right click on the curve, set origin to the geometry. Okay, now it will bring it closer. It's not coming on the object like the kidney center of gravity is on the object, but the curve, because it is curved, the origin is somewhere slightly away from that. Don't worry about that at the moment. Okay, coming back, click on the curve, go to the properties, find this green color curve. You don't have to adjust anything, just scroll down, find this depth. Okay, under bevel you will find the depth. You don't have to adjust anything, at least for now. If you adjust the depth, see what's happening on the side. Now the thread is becoming a tube. Okay, if you turn, you can see that it's actually a tube. Yeah, so that's like a plastic pipe. Fine, come to the front. Now we don't want to have such a big ureter. It's the worst hydronephrosis you can see. So let's bring it down. Maybe some 7 should do, I think. Yeah, 0.07. You can also adjust these points at the side for fine manipulation. Okay, now the second problem is the ureter should be having some constrictions. It should be wider in the top, that's the pelvis, or the pelvi ureteric junction should be wider when compared to your uretrovesical junction, which is at the bottom. So what I will do is I'll go to the edit mode. I'll choose one of the ends, go to S for size scaling, click it, enlarge it. It looks a bit weird, right? So we don't want that. Instead of just S that we used to do in the other places, for curves I click Alt S, Alt plus S. Now if you adjust, you can adjust that particular dot only. So let's make it narrower. Okay, so same here, go to the PUJ, Alt S, and then like this. Okay, so now it looks slightly like a ureter. Maybe you can even adjust this dot, slightly move and rotate if you want to, and then you can move it here inside. It all depends on what we actually need. Okay, I will leave it here. I'm not going to add all the 3 constrictions, but if you want, you can add another segment here. Again, Alt S, you can do like this. Okay, so that's something you can play around with. Yeah, go to the object mode. Now the kidney is kind of ready. Maybe something here. Yep, looks beautiful now. Now the kidney is ready and the ureter is ready. Let's turn it around. Yes, the ureter is going into the hilum. We need to have the kidney on the other side also. So what you can do is, just like our Word document, you copy paste this object. Copy, which is Control C and Control V. See, it's nothing but the sphere to start with, and you got another sphere here. That means we made a copy. Why not name the sphere into right kidney, and then this will become the left kidney. Okay, so now let's click on the left kidney, grab it and take it to the left side. The easiest way to flip this is, so we made a copy, click on this, rotate the kidney along the Z axis. Okay, our kidney doesn't really matter, it can even rotate like this, like a clock. So let's say R, Z, is it 180? Yeah, 180 degree. Yes, we got a mirror image of this kidney. There are more ways to make mirror images, but this is the easiest one. So let's stick to this, at least to begin with. Same with the ureter. Copy paste, and then R for rotation. Along the Z axis, press Z and then 180 degree. Now grab this. You can freely move this if you want, or if you want a fine movement, just grab G and then along the X axis, so grab X, smoothly take it here. Done. You can choose these two objects and take it slightly higher up, because we know that the left kidney is higher than the right kidney. Okay, so that's the end of the story. We have two kidneys here. We need to make the vena cava and the aorta. To do that, you can again add another curve, start from there, make the vena cava and the aorta and its own branches, the renal artery and the renal veins, or you can even copy paste this, then just like move this tip and rotate it and bring it here, like all those things, whatever you want you can do. It is just playing around the different options. Okay, so yeah, something like this. You can even use this as a vena cava, or you can add a new one. Again, go to the depth and adjust the thickness of the tube, and you can do that. Okay, so I'll just delete it for now. What I suggest is you practice these two kidneys for now. If you want to make this smoother, you click on the surface, click on the object, right click, shade smooth. That's all. It's that simple, and you can do that at any stage. Usually I do that at the end, as I said. And if you can make it inside or outside if you want. So same here, right click and shade smooth. When you are making the renal artery and the renal veins, as we know the anatomy, you can make sure that they all go in front of the ureter in the order of V, A and P. Is there anything major that we are missing here? Maybe not. Okay, so let's see how to color these structures, just to give a completion. One easy way is go to the top here, and all this time we were in the viewport shading. See this solid ball. You can use the next one. That's also the viewport, but it is a material view. Okay, you can read all those details by yourself. If you click on that, nothing has changed. You still see the kidney and the ureter with no colors on them. So you click on one object, go to the property box, go to this globe. Okay, it looks like a beach ball. Click on the beach ball, new. It's very straightforward. You don't have to change anything. Go to the base color, click on the color, and then choose a color for the kidney. Okay, it's a bright red, beautiful colored kidney. Maybe you can go here. Yeah, and you can reduce the brightness by adjusting this. Okay, for this kidney, two ways to go. You could either do the same job again, or in the new version of Blender, they have made it easier. Click on this kidney. So we have everything chosen already. You go here. We used to name the individual materials because there will be one for the kidney, one for the ureter. Now it's slightly easy. Okay, hold the beach ball, drag it to the new object, and then yes, it's copy pasted. This is the easiest method, especially when I have added lots of changes to the properties, not just the color. Then instead of repeating everything again and again, you can directly drag and drop the color or any of the property to this structure. Now for the ureter, maybe we can choose a blue color. Yeah, it's chosen, and you can use the same here. Yes. So that's the end of the kidney and the ureters. A couple of more fancy things to finish. So click on this kidney, maybe just on one side. We used the base color, right? Now you go down, go to, did I miss it? Yeah, alpha. Okay, You go to alpha, you adjust the alpha to any number. Okay, maybe let's keep it around half, or you can even type 0.5, 0.5. Yeah, what did you do? Yes, and then keep going down. In this blend mode, you take opaque and then you choose alpha blend. Okay, see what has happened. The kidney has actually become transparent. We do not have much at the back, so we are not able to see, but you can see the ureter inside, and you can see that this kidney is transparent, so you are able to see the other kidney behind that. Okay, so that will make more sense when you are adding details inside the organ, and when you add more blood vessels, and then you want to see what is inside and what is outside. Yeah. So if you move the ureter in, you will be able to see what is inside. So that's one way of adding transparency. Because we dragged and dropped the material from this kidney to the other kidney, whatever changes I make here is also reflecting on the other side. But if you want the changes for only one organ, then as I said, you should have changed them individually by going into each of the boxes.